Flock is tracking your earbuds. Wait, wasn't that last week's story? Maybe. We're going to revisit it. We're going to find out the whole entire story with expert opinions, because that's what we're going to do on this, the 229th day of Office Hours. Office Hours, of course, is the Five Nation check-in. That's where we're going live over to Scam School with 2 million subscribers, Modern Rogue with 1.7 million subscribers, over at x.com/shortwave with over 1 million followers, allegedly. Dozens of humans doing very human-like things over at LinkedIn. And of course, the real ones. Happy Father's Day, beautiful Diamond Club people. Look at you guys. You guys look fantastic. I just want to tattoo you all over the face of my beautiful daughter. Hello, Penelope. How are you?
Yeah? Sorry, could you repeat that one more time?
I didn't say anything. Did you hear something? Happy Father's Day to you too, Penny Ray.
Happy Father's Day.
All right. So, if you guys are new here, don't worry. You've missed absolutely nothing. I would not wish the last 500 hours of office hours on any of you. We'll catch you up to speed. In fact, call today day number 1. If you missed it, fraud is off the charts. The bad guys have robots, and what are they doing? They're fooling humans with their robots. So what do? We don't bemoan anything. We don't say make our cage stronger. No, we go to the cognitive gym and we practice our cognitive defenses by rewatching episodes of Scam School to remember exactly how we fool ourselves. So now we're all the way up to episode 125 of Scam School. This one is about pool hall favorites. If I remember correctly, this is a collection of 3 different classics, but we're going to watch it. We're going to do some degenerate gambling, and then we're going to find out what to think about the fact that Flock is tracking literally everything. Here we go. And so we begin. Boom.
Next time you're at the pool hall, prepare to piss off your friends. And not by just being a douche, but like being clever. You'll be clever is what I'm saying. This episode of Scam School brought to you by Gamefly. Go to gamefly.com/scamschool for your free trial membership and Squarespace. Welcome to the show that's thirsty like a surly, angry camel discovering an oasis of beer. Scam School, the only show dedicated to social engineering at the bar and on the street. I'm your host, Brian Brushwood, and ever since our first pool hall episode, we have been inundated for suggestions and requests for more. So we give you not 1, but 2 episodes filled with pool hall punks. I almost hit her. What is going on, gentlemen? I'm Brian. What's your name?
Chris.
Chris and
Matt.
Matt. Now, are the legends true that you actually hopped in the car, drove an hour and a half just to come be part of the Scam School taping?
Hour and a half just to be a part of this.
That is legendary, sir. All right, look, let's play some pool. Do you know how to play 8-ball?
I do know how to play 8-ball.
Go, baby, go, baby, go! I got nothing. Wait, no. I got 2. Fate of the nations depends on you. Ah! Oh. All right, tell you what. I propose an alternate ending to this.
Okay.
I will give you an unlimited number of shots.
Okay.
Okay, so the game of 8-ball is on pause. That's out. We're
Okay.
gonna settle this like true gentlemen.
Okay.
You get an unlimited number of shots. It's
Yeah.
all up to you. All you need to do is clear every ball on the table without scratching.
Every ball without scratching.
Every ball without scratching. You pull it off, you win the game. I'll buy you both beer. You get unlimited. All you gotta do is be cautious.
Shake on it.
All right, it's all you. That's good.
Every ball without scratching.
Yeah. You still got one left. Does that mean you owe me a beer?
I think I owe you a beer.
That was perfect though, because you bought it. It was so awesome because it's one of those wordplay gags that some people, if they think you're suspicious right off the bat, it's important that you actually start playing the game so that they buy into the idea that this is some alternate arrangement. If you just start off out of nowhere, like here's a challenging bet, but if you come up out of it out of nowhere, then they think, oh, this is a skill-based thing, I'm very likely to scratch, and they don't realize that it's wordplay. Why don't you go ahead and sink that and accept your fate, sir. Now they're all cleared, but you did scratch, so I'll take that beer. Very good job, Matt.
It's interesting.
talk about GameFly.
This is around the time that we begin to kind of punch up against the limits of the conceit, because in the early days, it was really important that we like prove that these were legit, because the problem that we were solving was that every bar bet book would overconfidently state how effective these were. So it's like, okay, a lot of these are garbage though, and they don't work in real life. So I wanted to put all of them to the test and prove that the ones that I was hand selecting really did work. But now we're at the point where it's like, these are genuine fans of the show coming out. And it's like, I don't know, Brian dunking in their face is increasingly a not great look. And I think it creates those awkward moments that make it less fun. Anyway.
All right, Matt, we're going to do some pool hall classics. Trick shots. Do you know any trick shots?
I know the one you taught me on Scam School.
Well, the best worst trick shot, right? I will set this up as many times as you want. My patience is unlimited here.
Unlimited.
All I want you to do is to hit that 6 without hitting any of those other 8 balls. Play for free. Try to impress me. See if you can figure out a way to do it. All right, let's set it up again. Don't. What? You just let me know whenever you're ready to call it. You just buy me a little beverage.
How about 10? 10 is 10 worth a beverage?
Dude, I mean, you tell me.
It sounds like you're open too.
Well, no, I mean, we can negotiate later. I'm just saying is I could do it on the first try every time.
First try?
And I will sell you the secrets for a beer. But
and you'll get it on the first try.
You by all means. Go for it.
One more.
Show it to me. Oh! All right, you're done? You're going to buy me a beer?
I'll buy you a beer.
All right, dude, let me show you. From this side, hitting the 6 and not hitting any of the other phalanx.
Okay.
You ready?
Ready.
Oh, for the win!
Nicely done.
There you
Nicely
go.
done.
So that's again, so it's a little bit of wordplay, but it does take some
bit.
skill. Now let me tell you some of the inside work on this. On most pool tables, you're actually classically this bet is always taught as being just 3 balls. You just put 3 on here, and then they balance. But in this case, the bumper is so steep because every pool table is a little bit different. In this case, there's no way for it to stand on there. Sometimes, if it's pretty shallow, you can line it up and just put the other 2 on here, and then after it settles, you can pull them away and it will stay. But in this case, this bumper is so steep that we had to set it up with the phalanx. And the principle is the same, right? So at this point, it's actually staying on there. Add as many as you want, as long as you have that 90-degree angle, 45-45 on each side. You want it such that when you gently hit it forward and you bump the table, you know this guy's gonna roll forward. You want it so everything rolls out of the side and that cue just barely kisses the 6.
All right, what did you
Squarespace
think
is
of
a publishing
what did you think of the those first 2, Penny?
The first one is kind of just, it's a little cheap. It's not very effective. Like, that would not have stood in a video on its own. The second one, I'm like, oh, that's clever. I just did not play pool in years and years.
Yeah.
And even then, it was only like.
Well, and it's funny because like ultimately the shape of video entertainment has changed to where the question of like of the viewer being a character in the show is so much more important now to address and to make part of the storytelling. But you don't feel that like if this was a scene in a movie, you wouldn't be running it through the filter of, does this matter to me? Would I ever do this?
Yeah,
You know?
could I do this?
Yeah.
Like, is what I was thinking.
Yeah.
Let's play a little game. Are you strong?
Some people would say yes.
Some people, of course, they tend to be shorter than 4 feet, but yes, those people think I'm very, very strong.
Exactly.
I'm not strong, but I am pretty good at a little game I just made up.
Okay.
Let's do this. Here's what we're gonna do. What's your favorite ball in the game of billiards? I guess this isn't billiards. This is technically
billiards.
pool. Yeah.
2.
Okay, grab the 2 ball. That'll be yours. Which one do you want me to use?
6.
I don't want you to think this is a gimmicked deck of. Oh, I see.
Of
You
course,
get the
down
one
there.
way on down there.
A
There you
gimmicked
go.
deck.
There you go.
I genuinely
All right, here's what
don't
we're gonna
remember
do.
this trick.
We're gonna play a little game. There, you can put that stick aside. This is nothing. This is raw strength.
Oh, wait,
of
I
the
do know this one.
tendons of your index finger. You're just gonna get this guy kissing that edge there, and I want you to push down until it kind of launches it forward. There you go, like that. Now, you don't tend to get a lot that way, right? There we go, like it. So, I don't know. I think you may have it. No. All right, you feel trained up? We're gonna have a distance contest.
Okay.
We're gonna see who's gonna go the farthest.
Okay.
All right. You ready?
Same time?
Yeah. We'll go same time.
Starting in?
Starting. You count us in.
3, 2, 1?
Yeah. Here we go.
3, 2, 1.
You want a rematch?
Yes, without a doubt. 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1.
Ah! I am the victor. I have the strongest middle finger, or index finger.
Index
I'm glad
finger.
otherwise I'm the strongest. No, okay, here's the important thing on this one. First thing you want to do is you want to have some practice sessions to make it clear that you're both playing by the same rules. A lot of the other pool tricks involve wordplay that you're screwing somebody over.
Yep.
This one's purely a case of physics.
Okay.
If you play the way that we've been practicing, you push down, and the problem is not that you're not exerting forward momentum on the ball. The problem is that it has that backspin, and so it immediately stops. And in fact, the times it goes farthest are when it does the backspin and then bounces forward here, right? Like, what's about the farthest you got on the backspin?
2 inches.
Yeah, right? It really doesn't go far. The secret is, and in this case, I just waited until you were looking the other way.
Yep.
Right when it's go time, and for the practicing, you want to act like you've got the same problem they have. But when it gets ready for go time, you lick your finger, right? And then, as a result, you're not going to put any backspin on it when you push down, and it'll just launch itself straight forward.
out.
So this is one where you actually get to play by the exact rules and still come out ahead. You want to try it once with the licking?
Let's try it.
All right, here we go. Ready?
3, 2, 1.
Very well done. Congratulations, Matt. That was awesome, dude. Now remember, on the strength game, you gotta be subtle about how and when you lick your finger. If they figure out what you're up to, you're totally hosed and you can't repeat the effect. If it's too gross to lick your finger, because who knows where those pool balls have been, then just dip your finger in your beer and it should work just the same. Now, I want to hear about your success stories and failure stories, so I want you to post them at the boards at scamschool.tv, where you can see all of our episodes right back to episode 1. If you're doing the Twitter thing, you can follow the show at twitter.com/scamschool or contact me personally over twitter.com/schwood. If you want to suggest your favorite bar scam, hit me up at brian@revision3.com. And next week, we're going to be learning something every child should know: how to always win at rock, paper, scissors by bringing a shiv.
Yeah, I did like the fact that the secret was backspin, the good one, not the one on Slaughter Lane.
Hey guys, how'd you like it?
Yeah, so it's interesting how much of the vibes have changed. It's interesting how content plays different when you know the person. Like Brian holding up a shiv at the end and saying, "I'd kill you," or whatever, is very repulsive if you're like, "Hey man, I thought that we were just having a good time together." And yet, I wonder if that is seductive if you're a 14-year-old male who is, just looking for tricks to be the most interesting person at the bar or whatever. Speaking of which, this one, we're going to do our gambling. This one was called the best pool trick, shots, tips, and scams. And I feel like we're now at the point where I need to disclose that you can tell this is when YouTube first starts allowing you to upload specific thumbnails for it. So the original one that we saw was a clip art of a girl playing poker, and then this will be the next one, part 2, whenever we get to that one. Also, don't look at how many. Actually, you know what? Heck, I guess you can. We know that part 2 gets 269,000 views. But for now, we're all going to gamble. So you go to GuessAttack, GuessAttack.com and place your bets. You placing a bet, Penny?
Yeah.
All right. Not Scary Steve thinks it's 177,000 all the way back in 2010. This would have been August 2010. 669. BioCow says 199,991. Argyle Gargoyle says 169,269. G James B with 402241. Muslix with 180,240. The artist formerly known as Joey H666 says 500,000. Bantarat says 369. And Star Woman coming at 124,023. And the actual winner, the actual number is, we'll zoom on in, 377,295. Here, let me guesses closed here. GUESS. Oh, Penny, you can do this command. If you type into Social Stream Ninja the exclamation point and write guesses closed, and then space, and then paste, and put in the number 377,295. Oh, no. BioCow is the fastest, but Penny can learn this skill. So whoever's fastest gets to do it regardless.
Okay.
But if you wanted to take that job, then I
Type in.
could stay focused so that I could congratulate Bantarat with 369,000, off by a scant 8,295. Nicely done. Well earned. Gold medal. KM, I think that's Kurometsu Riku, yeah, with 420,069. Congratulations. Nicely done. Yeah, that one makes, in fact, let's look at the metrics real quick on it. Let's see, switch, account. Oh, ooh la la. Do we have doggy attacks? Do we want to do this live on the air?
Dog attack?
No? Okay. Bonnie got me an adult toy.
What?
I assume that's why she doesn't want me to open it on the air.
God.
She's shrugging. Okay. We're back to Bonnie the Invisible Wife. I like this. She's also silent.
You like when women are silent and invisible? Wow.
Wow. 2012 called. They want their cheap feminist pop back. Got him. All right, so we'll do this. I guess I'll answer. I'll get my gift later. That's cute. Oh, we were gonna look at the. Yeah, here we go. Scam Nation. We can look at the analytics. We'll see. Do you think this one was a slow grind or a pop? Oh, get that mic. Get that mic in it.
No,
Wait,
I'd
no.
say-
Never move your body. Always move the mic.
Okay.
Because your body is gonna naturally go where your body wants to go.
Yeah. Got it. I'd say slow grind because I'd guess that a large number of the views came from people who knew they were going to a pool hall.
Yeah, so here's my guess. My guess is this one had a soft initial pop, but when the channel hit its peak around 2014-ish or 2012, 2014-ish, that is good SEO because it had a girl in the thumbnail. There, in fact, yeah, you can see here, there's a girl in the thumbnail, and it also is a generic, widely approachable title, the best pool tricks, shots, tips, and whatever. So that could have some SEO pop, so we'll see. This is a fun second game. Ooh, no, it did have an initial pop, and it was just a forever slow grind. Yeah, it never got discovered after the fact, but you're right, Penny. As the channel rose to prominence, I think people who were headed out to the pool halls were searching for it, and then looked for it. Interesting. Nicely done. And then we get to, what was it, dead internet theory? I always think of it as the heat death of the universe, but this is where there's gray goo. This is the part that we're fighting against right now because there's just too much content. So we're at least going live every day with what I think of as kind of a scam Bible study. Isn't that weird? It's like, now open your books to the book of scam, day 125. And lo, upon this day, the spiky-haired guile figure did 3 scams. Scam the first, he said. What was that one? Oh, run the table without scratching. And a word puzzle this one was. Scam the second was the 6-ball, right? And then the scam the third was the lick it,
Yes.
he said.
that's it.
Yes.
It's a really great holy book.
Close your books. Really love this channel, but this is one of the worst episodes. Hard disagree.
We have way worse episodes.
We have way worse. Oh, words. LOL. But seriously, these are 3 solid B- tricks to have in your back pocket. Boom. And you get a heart. For the first one, from now on, if I hear someone make that challenge to me, I'll just try to pull off some genie magic shit and try to bounce the cue ball off the top remaining balls so the ball goes to the pocket. Yep. All right. I believe you. I believe in you. What does scratching means, apart from the obvious? It means when the cue ball goes in a pocket
So if it goes off the table, but not in a pocket.
or off the table. So it's a paradox. Yeah, I think that again, this is one of those like I can ding the execution of this. Like if I had it to do again, I would probably couch it in a less defensive posture, where it's a celebration when we get to the end instead of a gotcha.
I think what we've learned as time goes on, and we get older, is that the guy who looks the coolest is not the guy getting everyone to give him free drinks.
Well, but also that's the other thing is that's the fantasy that opens the door.
Yeah.
Like ultimately we understand that like, oh, that Brian Brushwood is a more caring individual and a good father. Would that work as a headline? No. No. What you do is you Trojan horse that shit. You're like, you could be the cool guy at the bar. Then you get people to watch it. Then 22 years later, on Father's Day in 2026, you reveal the heist. You were actually
Nice.
a warm, affectionate father all along. Got you. Got your ass. All right, so now let's jump into our main story. So we talked a little bit about Flock cameras yesterday, so I picked this headline, Between You and the Wall, partially to test interest for people talking more about privacy and security stuff in a post-AI world. But in this case, we could revisit it because I want to hear kind of your thoughts, Penny.
Yeah.
Are you familiar with Flock security cameras?
No.
Ooh, okay, great. So Flock Security. Well, here we'll read this. We'll read this story. This company will add phone, AirPod, and smartwatch trackers to license plate readers. So legally, does every citizen have a right and expectation to go around in a full camouflage costume and a mask, being completely anonymous, conducting business? Probably not. And nor does every business have an obligation to service people who are creepily dressed as Chewbacca's, let's say. Mm-hmm. On the flip side, is it legal for we just watched, or you haven't watched Spider Noir, but it's set in the 1920s Prohibition era. So there's a lot of moments where you throw
Is that out?
Yeah.
Oh.
It's better than you think. I liked it quite a bit at times. Strangely enough, I really liked. I was proud because like for 4 episodes they didn't go into. But how did he get his powers? And then they waited until I was like, but how did he get his powers then? And only then did they reveal. And I was like, not bad, pretty good. Had a good time. But along the way, Nicolas Cage might, fling a nickel at a street urchin and say, hey, you see, watch that guy. Or you see anyone come by? I'm like, that all seems legal and fine in a freedom-based free market economy. Same idea, just at scale. What if you paid to install street urchins all over the place And all they did was note license plates of who's coming and who's going where. Now, legal pro-social uses, well, let's say legal and neutral uses.
Yeah.
Let's say that you want to open a lemonade stand somewhere, and you know that there's, like, for example, the FIFA World Cup happening. Then you would probably pay a lot of street urchins to let me know every time there's been a major event in Atlanta, say, because specifically they're targeting all the FIFA events. Where are the choke points before and after the game where people who are thirsty for lemonade will pull over early or overcrowd a gas station or whatever? You can alleviate all of those choke points by just dropping lemonade stands, and people don't even have to get out of the car, right?
Yeah.
So in that case, you get a market indicator, and then you're able to alleviate, and that is pro-social, and people are making a buck. So in that scenario, it's good that you have a bunch of street urchins keeping track of things. Especially now down to the specific, let's say, anonymized person, because those are hypothetical customers. You could say, my target customer is somebody who is allergic to strawberry lemonade because we don't do strawberries here. We only do pure lemonade or whatever. And then you're like, oh, these people are going to the cross-contaminated strawberry lemonade stand, and you're able to track all that. That seems very specific, but also pro-social. Then you get to the flip side, police state. We can imagine that one, right? The moment you go anywhere, you're being tracked. And then you've got the pro-social police state, because let's say 9/13 happens. Somebody runs 3 planes into a FIFA World Cup. My guess is, suddenly, nope. What would be a better situation, hypothetically? A stink bomb. Somebody releases a stink bomb, and everyone smells bad for 100 years. My guess is, in that scenario, you would really want retroactively the ability to track who came in from where. So now we're down. That's with license plates. But the news item per 404 Media is that Flock, the company, is going to add phone, AirPod, and smartwatch trackers to license plate readers. So like your RFID tags and all that stuff. This is the story that we're talking about. A surveillance company, Flock, plans to add sensors to automatic license plate readers, ALPRs. That would mean that the devices, as well as the license plates of passing vehicles, would also be able to sweep up unique identifiers of mobile phones, wearables, and other Bluetooth-enabled devices in the car, because everything is shouting its own digital fingerprint. Here, I'm gonna put you in the yawning
this
box.
is the kind of thing where we were talking yesterday about the Commodore dumb phone.
Yes.
And they didn't say anything about anything like that. They just said they kneecapped it.
That's correct. Yeah. So my guess is the Commodore phone is in a trust timeout in Brian's head right now, because we'll have to see what actually comes out. We saw enough markers of eyebrow-raising behavior. The technology called SignalTrace can turn ALPR cameras from devices focused on tracking cars and faces to ones that can more readily track the location of particular people. For example, while you could just say, hey man, I'm just tracking cars. Cars are crazy. People get in them, they get out of them. Not tracking people, tracking cars. That gets a little more complicated when we're talking about earbuds, because I don't think that you get away. It doesn't pass the sniff test to say, earbuds, man. People pass them around all the time.
Yeah.
They're putting their fingers, they're licking their fingers and touching pool balls and earbuds. Everybody's just touching them all over the place. So for the SignalTrace is the technology. It, quote, bridges license plate recognition data with sensor captured device identifiers such as from mobile phones, Bluetooth wearables, and vehicle systems. That's another thing. That would be like my wristwatch, my smartwatch, to create a unique trackable electronic fingerprint for investigative use, according to a product sheet describing the tool. And what's interesting is we're getting to the part, Penny, where in the before times, you could easily say, If you don't want to be tracked, just don't wear a Bluetooth headset broadcasting your thing. Or you could, for a while, say, just don't carry a cell phone, because there were payphones everywhere, and it was not at all shady or weird to conduct your business entirely on payphones. Penelope,
Yeah.
if your sister, let's say Callie, eventually falls in love with a very good-looking person, and you noticed that this person didn't have a cell phone and only conducted all of their business on payphones, how would you feel the night before the wedding?
Feel a little suspicious.
A little suspicious,
Where are they
right?
finding all these payphones?
Not of the transactions. I'm suspicious of where you're finding these payphones. The sort of data Leonardo says SignalTrace can sweep up includes the RFID tags and key cards, and pet microchips. Pet microchips. I haven't heard that phrase. Have you?
What do you mean?
Pet microchips?
Yeah, like the chips they put
In pets.
Yeah.
I thought it meant that it was
Oh,
like
no.
a hierarchical microchips
No.
associated with.
No, they
Key
mean
cards.
tracking your dog.
Got it. Ooh, that's a really good one, because then it's like dogs. Yeah, everyone's swapping dogs all around. We're not tracking people. We're just tracking dogs.
Like, I remember there was something where, like, they were, like, Ring was like, great news, guys. We're tracking for lost dogs and only lost dogs. And there's no additional, information that's going to be passed around here, definitely.
Yeah, we talked a bit about this, exactly that last week, because Ring, this is where kind of the marketing branding argumentation of storytelling comes in, because with Ring, they don't sell Ring as a security device. They sell it as a home telepresence device, where it's like you're not home, but people are knocking at your door, they're looking around. Wouldn't you like to just kind of have a sense of what's going on when things are happening around you? You're like, yes, me and my property, I do like all of this. But they're not a security device because they're very easy to foil, because all you have to do is jam the Wi-Fi and it doesn't record on device, and they're, et cetera, et cetera. So it violates that sense of, we don't think of it as a privacy thing. We think of it as telepresence. But now, without your permission, other people using your psychic connection with your house in order to hunt down, whether it's a dog, even they thought dog would pass the sniff test, but dog means cop killer, that violates all of our sense of our privacy on there. And again, in the marketplace of marketing, there's no moral right and wrong. There's only what the crowd judges in terms of like how good a story you told. But at any rate, good. Dan Homesteader was saying he wanted us to talk about this. And yes, Matt York is correct. It was a poorly received Super Bowl ad. They mislanded the messaging. The sort of data Leonardo says SignalTrace can sweep up includes RFID tags and key cards and pet microchips, devices with Bluetooth such as wireless headphones, fitness trackers, mobile phones, components of a car like tire pressure sensors and infotainment systems, and Wi-Fi sources such as vehicle hotspots and laptops, according to the product sheet. So this is also a type of business that will have to be rethought from a legal perspective, because tangential example that I think is interesting. Chris Sherwood is the creator of Project Nomad, and we just shot a couple of episodes. Yes. He currently, with his primary business, Crosstalk Wireless, shouts out, is selling chips, SIM cards for an MVNO. Are you familiar with an MVNO, Penny?
No.
So whether it's T-Mobile or whatever, Like we think of, oh, T-Mobile, they built that tower and they sell us T-Mobile sauce. That's not really how it is. A bunch of people buy towers, and then there's an aftermarket where they sell slices of bandwidth on all of their towers. And in that market, you can pop up. We could do Modern Rogue Tel right now, and all we have to do is get an account with one of those resellers, and then we could be, they call it an MVNO, and we could sell our own cell service providing, where we can trade on whether we do or don't trade your information. We can compete on price. We can compete on like the Commodore nostalgia brand value or whatever. But I was asking, like, man, aren't you worried about that market being saturated? Because how many cell phones does everybody need? Doesn't everybody have a cell phone at this point? And then it hit me that your car, it used to be that you would only want to have service connected to your car while there's a human in there. But now there's agents that could be monitoring your fuel levels, your tire pressure. They could be running diagnostics. So now there's a reason to want to have an always-on connected vehicle as an entity. So I suspect that however many accounts, because it used to be we had one cell phone in our entire family. Then your mom got one, and then we started making babies who had them, and now there are places that need accounts and so on. I think that number is only going up, which is a long way to say this is why we got to rethink what it means to track these devices, because what exactly are we tracking? Because then we go back to, did the founders know? SignalTrace. The idea is to correlate these unique identifiers into a license plate. Really, they're going to say correlate them to a license plate, but really what they're doing is they're building a profile fingerprinting. If a Leonardo camera detects a license plate and sees where a vehicle was at a specific time, then it could allegedly link those unique identifiers to it. The sheet suggests that SignalTrace collects this data for it to be searched by law enforcement much later. So this is the other thing. Is we do have abuse cases, Penny, where creepers who are in law enforcement have used those tools to retroactively stalk people they were interested in, or ex-spouses or so on. When multiple devices consistently move together in a vehicle, SignalTrace's algorithms link them to that vehicle's license plate and timestamp location data. Basically, by taking a record of everything, they allow telepathic after the fact summoning of evidence of everything. So what's your take, Penny?
My take is, yeah, it's like really, really weird that this is something that they can just do to you. Like, you can have no idea this is happening. You're not opting into this at all, and you have physically no way to possibly opt out. Like, theoretically you could, but living in the modern day, that's kind of unreasonable to expect of someone.
Yeah, this is what we tend to see are hypothetical situations that become edge cases, that become legal arguments that get decided either in a calming way or in a frustrating way. Then we see appeals, and then many years after the fact, we see Supreme Court decisions that are built on precedent and stuff. So I think we're just in a 5-year stretch. This is why I started doing office hours, is this current 5 years. We are entering year number 2 of a fascinating, wobbly 5 years where everything is being rethought. Do me a favor, move that mic a little bit closer. Like, drag it towards you. There we go. Yeah, beautiful. Nicely done. Yep. I guess that's really all we have on that, is that update. Do you have anything you want to add to it before we go to another story?
I don't like it.
You don't like it?
I don't like it. I don't like the idea that like, because it doesn't stop at what the cameras are collecting for where you go. That can be connected to other databases that are being formed elsewhere until there's just nothing. There's no secrets.
Yeah. So my friend Perry Carpenter is the lead strategist at KnowBe4, And he points out that there are kind of 3 layers to think of this stuff, which I think is really important. The top layer is state actors. So at state actors, you've got that money's no object. You have infinite personnel. You have all your personnel and all of your money. You just got to get the thing. So for that, you could think of like the Manhattan Project or
Project Hail Mary.
Project Hail Mary on a global scale, right? You could also, for example, I forget what the story was. There was some very important part of the Hubble Space Telescope, or maybe an entire space telescope, that the DIA, like NASA was heartbroken that it was going to set back space exploration a whole bunch. And then the DIA, an often overlooked government agency, said, we can give it to you. One rule, you must never point it at the ground. And then it's like, why do they have, it was like that scene from Contact, like why spend all the money to build one when you can build 2? But at state actors, you got crazy resources. So I assume all of this has already been happening at a counterterrorism level. Then you've got enterprise level. So at that level, like, for example, AI stuff or deepfakes or whatever, like, you could spend a lot of money and resources, but it's got to be for a specific use case, specific
Gotta
use.
be profitable.
Exactly. That comes out ahead. And then I love this phrase. Perry calls it folk grade, FOLK grade technology. And at folk grade technology, it's so cheap to do. You're like, just do whatever you want. Anybody can do anything. And then that's where you hit kind of our beat of taking on the low-level scammers. A bunch of people who are scheming and dreaming and just want to take cheap off-the-shelf doodads to defraud somebody 2 rungs higher than them on the social ladder. So what I imagine is happening with Flock is we're seeing state-level shenanigans moving into enterprise-level shenanigans. And people are arguing now because eventually this technology...
It's going to become folk level.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's really unacceptable.
Exactly. Zach3540, welcome, my friend. We just wrapped that up. You can back up the stream and watch the episode. We're moving on to the story of the day about how the world's gone wobbly. Adrian Mondo says, Brian, I love you so much. You made my childhood great because I love magic and couldn't get magic when I was a kid. Scam school was my life. Aw, thank you. And then he says, I'm so sorry, Brian. Oh, no, he misspelled my name. Oh, okay. I was like, why are you sorry?
Yeah,
That's great. I was just like, well, I'm so sorry, Brian. For what? What did I do?
Yeah, it took me a second also until I was like, oh, he has the asterisk.
Yeah. Let's do... Forget smartphones. This guy just built a working tricorder. Do you know what a tricorder is?
No.
Oh,
Oh, I assume it's a Star Trek prop.
yeah. So Star Trek. Here, we'll do rule of threes again.
Yeah.
Star Trek brought a lot of technology to the small screen in the 1960s, and there are 3 categories of stuff that they did. The Star Trek tech had 3 categories. One, stuff we already had that that was just really, really good. For example, travel or spacecraft, right? We had spacecraft in the 1960s, but it was just that a lot better. And then the second was about to have. And a good example of that. And then finally, the third is will never have. And so the question was, which category of which did they go into? For example, Captain Kirk's communicator, was it a will never have or about to have? And then ultimately, now we have cell phones, right?
Versus like holodeck, where that's not how physical space works.
Although, holodeck is a good one.
You can trick your brain into thinking that you're moving around in physical space, but like you can't get it exactly like it is on the show where
I don't know, like functionally, like think about, okay, so when Data and Geordie LaForge summoned a Moriarty, that was a will never have, but now the mind of Moriarty we now have in the form of an LLM. They needed in a holodeck episode to have a Moriarty that wasn't going to do old tricks, so they empowered him to try to fool us, and then Moriarty, spoiler alert, gets out of the holodeck and yeah,
and causes chaos.
Yeah,
that's the Star Trek.
Now it's just an annoying Thursday for us. Welcome to the future, Petty.
Now Moriarty tells us this like really terrible riddle where the answer just doesn't make any sense, and it's like a single human.
That was pretty good. But that was back. Man, that's all going to change. We'll get back to that. But so the tricorder was a will never have that's becoming a about to have. The tricorder was whenever you had a plot device that needed to instantly know things, you had to bring the viewers up to speed. So like transporter was a great way to drop people into set pieces and stories. And so it's like, don't worry about it. It's future magic. Tricorder was a way to narratively bring everyone up to speed, where it's like you had to set the rules of the episode. Like, no, it's not diamonds. It's something we haven't seen before. So forget about what you know about diamonds. It's whatever. Anyway, this guy's making a tricorder. Let's see.
And what pulled me into the worlds the most were the props. Whether it was the lightsaber from Star Wars, the Pip-Boy from Fallout, or a communicator from Star Trek. They inspired wonder, and one thing that they all had in common was they were reflections of their time. So I was born in the 90s, where things were more—
Wait a minute. Are we discovering a unicorn right now? This is a pretty good video. This guy's only got 565 subscribers.
Oh, wow.
68 views. He's in Texas. What's going on here?
Yeah,
mechanical.
he's not using AI so far.
And that's another marker. How delightful. Also, I will point out that somebody anonymously dropped this in. So this may be the actual person. This may be a neighbor, and we're naturally discovering it. Well, guess what? You have my full attention now. Nicely done, sir. Well played.
Interesting. We had physical media, like this. And most of all, we had different devices for different purposes. And as elegant
This
and
is
as
actually
beautiful—
This is actually one of my bits of advice for starting creators is figure out what you can and can't compete with. So in this case, by not trying to compete on Gee Whiz, on AI or whatever, he's competing on ideas, but a game everybody can play is reduced fidelity all the way down to just a smartphone, which is what I'm seeing here, and then compete on lyricism and pacing. What Sine Wave says it's from him, and he found it right before the show. Genuine discovery. This could be magic.
go.
Please be a good episode.
as this was, it was still durable and fun. And as time progressed, we still had the same feeling, but a little flatter. Then one day it all culminated into a single device. It's what I'm shooting this video on. It's how I wrote my script. It's a cold, efficient, colorless rectangle. Now, don't get me wrong. I love how far we've come as a society, and I feel like we're closer than ever to reaching the stars, like in my favorite sci-fi. But it's just one device, and I want to do something.
All right, so this is a called shot. Solid intro. We don't have 15 minutes to watch the whole thing. Go to officehours.themodernrogue.com and you can see links to it. So he's breaking down what needs to go into a tricorder. He's putting things together. We're actually seeing stuff put into action.
In my hand, I feel a lot more comfortable moving forward. So let's continue. The next thing I needed to do was design an enclosure on Fusion 360. So you'll see in a second that this first prototype turned out terribly. It was way too big, and because I used pictures of my components as reference points, they weren't terribly accurate. There was also a little bit of warping because I didn't position it right on the plate, but I knew I wasn't going to actually use this, so I didn't bother making another one. Now, despite its flaws, it actually gave me a great starting point. Now I know everything fits together within this larger container. I can scale it down and make something a little more sleek.
Shouts out to this kind of design iteration. With applied materials, with materials engineering, you just got to build a thing and just be like, this is terrible. But there's almost something here.
Which ultimately failed. But let me know down in the comments if you've ever tried to fix some solder joints. So after the screen arrived, I decided against using connectors and instead soldered some wires directly to it. This was mainly to save on space in the newest
I didn't realize how from scratch this would be.
Yeah.
So cool.
design. So I assembled everything for what I thought was the final time, but I actually ended up switching out the enclosure for one that was slightly different. So let's just skip right past that. Now we get to the software, which was arguably the most difficult part of this project. So I sketched out how I wanted the UI to look, what all the buttons were gonna do, how the sensors will interact with the LED bar, the LED matrix, and the speaker that holds the screen also has an SD card, which made extracting So here it is, a fully functional sci-fi scanning device. A device with a purpose that has multiple functions, but beeps, flashes, and has a mechanical feel to it. Now, you've already seen the outside and the close-ups, so let's see what this thing can do. First up, we have thermal mode, which means you can pretty much point this at anything and see the heat coming off of it. Then we have environmental mode, which detects temperature, humidity, VOCs for air quality, and UV. Next, we have measure mode, which will give us the distance from here to an object over there, as well as give us compass headings and detect color. Then we have the sound mode, which will show you the audio waves in real time and also allow you to record logs like a certain starship captain. We also have a Wi-Fi and Bluetooth scanning mode, which will show you all the different sources around you. Then you have a files mode, which allows you to save and capture data from any of the other modes onto the local SD card. It also has the ability to host a web page on the device that you can access from your phone, so you can download logs or any of the snapshot data. Now, you've probably also noticed the little animations up top that change based on the mode that you've selected. Using the rotary encoder, you can cycle through each sub-mode to decide which animation you want it to show, like the compass. Now, you probably noticed I skipped one, bio. Back at the start of the video, I mentioned that a tricorder does 3 things, and I could probably only pull off 2. And bio is the one that I skipped now, and that's mostly because of cost. Now, as cool as this is, it's not perfect. The battery management system is a bit janky. Occasionally, the device won't turn on unless you plug in a charger. And that's because this battery management system was actually made for a power bank. Now, that would probably be at the top of my fix list, which brings me to what I would do next. The thing I'm excited about the most is learning how to design and build my own PCBs so that I could make everything that I put in this fit in a much smaller pack. I'd also love to get that bio mode working, which I would probably...
Isn't that funny, Penny, that the exact same mechanic, the ability to just scan passively for YouTube, for Bluetooth fingerprints, we didn't care for in Flock, but emotionally, we suddenly love it on this device.
We suddenly love it because it feels like there's so much less of that, like I'm sure you could find a way to use it negatively, but it's not like, oh, there are so many things I can think of this being used for, and it's much harder to think of any positive ones than any negative ones.
Yeah.
Using O2 sensors and a heartbeat sensor. A standby mode would also be really cool, which means it would stay...
All right, this is great. Piota Labs, P-I-O-T-E-L-A-B-S here. I'm going to copy this. I'm going to put this over in here. Let's all show some love in the chat. Boom. There. This is. And then here, I'll switch to the other account.
Ever since I was a kid, I've always...
Yes. Well done. I don't know why one of them is Bane. Yes, well done. Sidewave puts it as, I love my gun, but I don't like you having gun. Yeah, that's about accurate. That's how we feel. Right on, man. We're in Texas. So it's on an ESP32, which is a very cheap board, which we've covered some other stuff on there. But this is great. All right. You got anything else, Penny? I'm going to call it a day.
Nope.
Happy Father's Day.
Happy Father's Day.
What? You shouldn't have. Oh, thank you. All right, beautiful folks. That is it for this episode of Office Hours. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Whoa. What is this? Are we doing like a Marvel thing?
Oh. Yeah?
We're doing an after credits scene.
Huh?
I didn't know Sign made a video. I have no idea what this is.
Oh.
Man, this is going to be really confusing to them if any of the girls are there.
Yeah?
All right. Well, that sounds like all right.
Okay.
Let's see.
Yo, Sign here. Your legitimately illegitimate, biologically black son. Just wanting to wish you a happy Father's Day.
Yep.
Don't worry about the math. It doesn't matter.
No, this is all true. This is all canonically accurate.
Yeah, it's in the lore.
I'm pretty sure if you Google it, you know what? Let's ask a robot. Hold on. Let me do this. Yeah, there we go. We'll do one of these. So I'll just take this, throw this up here. Go to ChatGPT, and then I'll say, there we go. Somebody said Brian Brushwood had a black son. Who is he? There we go. Yo, Justin Robert Young. Happy Father's Day, Justin Robert Young. Live on the air.
Father's Day to you. Oh, who's on the air? What are you doing?
You are. I'm on with Star Woman on a late office hours Father's Day special, and I just opened up a present from my legitimately illegitimate biologically black son Sign. And Penny just found out. And I just asked for, a robot if there's, if Brian Brushwood has a black son.
Where's Josie? Doesn't know about Josie.
It doesn't know about Josie? Oh yeah, it says here. Wow, that's interesting. Anyway, hey man, what are you up to? Happy Father's Day.
Happy Father's Day to you. I just wanted to go over logistics on stuff for the next few days, but give me a call when you are when you're wrapped on the stream. But
all right.
Happy Father's Day to you.
Awesome. All right, I'll see you guys. Bye. And now we get to do for reals this time. There we go. Back to one, people. Roll it back.